All right, welcome back. Brenna Gardner is the author of Crescent Bay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what Crescent Bay is about.
All right, so Crescent Bay is a story about Bear Nightshade. Comes from a very famous family of witches. Whole family is magically inclined, but Bear can't even make toast by magic. Bear's terrible at magic. And they have very high expectations and responsibilities that their family is imposing on them, saying, you have our family name, can't sully the family name, you have to do good and you have to do these things our way. And the novel is about Bear figuring out how to do their magic their way, even if it doesn't look the same, despite those expectations. It's a story about also Bear getting the gumption to ask their best friend out.
Okay. Why did you want to tell this story? Why did you want to write this book?
Well, I come from a high control family with a strict religious background, and growing up queer, it was very difficult for me to fit into my family's expectations, and it is very hard to be able to find yourself through those restrictions. And I wanted to show in a more fantastical element a similar story for Bear, being able to find themselves through these challenges.
Now, going on that journey, had you, by the time you wrote this and put pen to paper, had you done it? Had you found that place in your life, or did this book help you get there? A little bit of both, maybe.
Probably a little bit of both. It's I would say that finding yourself is a constant journey. I think that every time I find that I've gotten to a point of, like, I know who I am now, something changes. And I think that's one of the joys and beauties of being alive.
What are some of the reactions you've heard from your readers?
I've heard from a handful of my readers that there's a fight that happens between Bear and their mother, and a lot of the readers who read that felt like that was a very emotional and very intense scene, and they were like, I really felt that. Like I was definitely on board for that, and a lot of them felt like the journey that Bear took themselves was something very important for them to see, because they are going on their own journeys as well. So I really enjoyed hearing that.
You took it upon yourself to self-publish. Take us through that journey a little bit and what you learned and came out the other side of.
So I think the very first thing that I would say is have somebody else read your work before you publish. When I self-published one of my first books, this one, in fact, one of the first renditions of it, I got the book back, I ordered it, I read through it like 4 or 5 times to make sure I caught all the edits myself, and I opened it, and the very first page has the author name in the title page. I spelled my own name wrong. And I didn't catch it, and it was just right there, and I was like, wow, nice. So having someone else read your work so that they can point out all the things that your brain passes is hugely important.
Okay, awesome stuff. If people want to read the book or learn more about you, where can they go? Where should we send them?
Yeah, BrennaGardner.com. It's my website. You can grab my books there off of Amazon as well, and Kindle. And you can also pick them up in person at the Briar Patch Bookstore in Bangor, the Not So Empty Nest in Bangor, and in Bucksport, the Bookstacks.
Awesome
store.
stuff. Crescent Bay is the book. What comes next? Do we got a sequel to this thing? We write another book?
Not a sequel, but I have lots of other books in the works.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. A pleasure.